everybody. So this is gonna be a quick video because I have work to do. I need to write these reports for these students. Yes, I just saw the Diddy trial results and him being found guilty on only 2 of the counts, the ones with the least time, the ones that will be of the least consequence. It may not even lead to any sentencing because he's already spent so much time in jail. I'm actually not going to even do the whole prosecution didn't plead their case. That was the case in OJ's trial, which is a completely different trial. I'm just making a point because I already know somebody's going to do the black man bullshit. OJ was on trial for murder. The LAPD took evidence back in their trunk to their homes, then brought it back and put it, okay, sorry, conspiracy works on that one, okay? That was their case, the prosecution case to lose. They had everything they were supposed to have. The judge and prosecution is on the same side because they both get paid by the state, so to speak. Even though judge is supposed to be impartial. That jury is the problem. And I'm not sure what a jury makeup would need to be. And this is a matter of who Diddy's victims were. At the point in which the context of the video that I, once again, only watched once, and that's all I needed. I can't look at that kind of stuff over and over again. Of Diddy grabbing Cassie and beating the hell out of her. For what we then found out eventually was leaving a freak off in Miami, and her base is New York. Or LA at that time. Not Miami. Don't tell me that Rico doesn't prove anything. What the prosecution did, they presented all kinds of evidence. The defense was dumb as hell. Oh yeah, they just wanted it or whatever. So this is what I mean. Even though we've had new conversations about this, a lot of what's happening has a lot to do with perceptions in general that black women are not victims. Okay? If these would have been white women, white adjacent women, it would have been a different outcome. I guarantee you. Black women don't get to be sexual victims, and that is rooted in the history of chattel slavery, and y'all need to get that, whether you're a black woman or not. The whole idea, the whole justification from the tip of South America all the way up to where they had slaves, even in parts of Canada, is that these African women can't control their bodies. It's not rape if we do it to them. They like it. They're like animals. They come from the jungle. Knowing that was a fucking lie. In fact, it's a projection of those white men's behavior against them, women that they owned. It was okay for black women to have as many babies as possible because under the condition of chattel slavery, every slave born became the property of the master and therefore something that could be used because slaves were expensive. You don't have to buy those. It was okay. Then once black people are free, then all of a sudden black women are terrible mothers. They were great mothers during slavery. Certainly for white children. Even though they continue to have these women as their nannies. That is in the fucking core DNA of this country. Be it white racism, anti-black racism is at the core of all of this. I ain't even willing to argue with nobody about that. Go read a fucking book. You can start with Afro-pessimism, okay? Tell Dr. Wilkerson I sent you. All right? I don't want to hear this shit. It's not that the prosecution didn't prove their case. It's that jury couldn't see them victim. Of course they liked it. Of course they wanted it. That is still the fucking mindset. I don't give a shit that Cassie is like half black and then Filipino. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She's not white. She's with this black man. Everything she's around is black. Everybody they brought for. him blowing up Kid Cudi's car, all of this evidence of the kind of person he is. We saw this with the R. Kelly trial, or at least I understood. I of course understood it later. I really didn't. I knew it was happening at the time, but I was still a kid. I was like a preteen when that stuff happened, and a teenager, you know. And what did R. Kelly do? He did the whole thank God and the cry thing in court, and he got out. And not only did he do the same things, he became even more arrogant, cunning, and vicious in the way he carried out trafficking. So don't tell me you can't prove it. Don't tell the prosecution didn't prove it. They did an R. Kelly's trial in New York. They would have had this shit in Illinois for you. I'll tell you right now, he'd be out of jail. And it may be a similar dynamic here. Who has Diddy been paying off for years? Y'all up here talking about, oh, it's because a black man with money. You know how Diddy's gotten his money? By cheating other black artists out of what they deserve to be paid for their talent. By saying they were willful participants. At the point in which you are dragging a woman and forcing her while she is cowering and pleading with you, I think he should be on charges for attempted murder. I think he should have been prosecuted and found guilty. So this going off, are there going to be plenty of people that support him? Absolutely. I don't even know why they're supporting him. Diddy's last hits came with Mace in the 90s. We watched him on Making a Band? And even that I quit after they started trying to make that little, colorless group or whatever the fuck they were doing. This is because they don't see black women as victims. And it follows you even into the courtroom as you are sitting there 8 months pregnant, moving into the 9th month, dredging up the greatest trauma of your life in front of journalists, a jury, a judge, lawyers, things you're ashamed of, your parents. And now he's going to get out. And he's going to do the same things. The same way R. Kelly saw some of his teenage supporters who should have been in fucking school anyway, standing outside the courthouse. He could, the girl, what was her name? Geronda Pace. You know that's where she was, right? And she was a child. Here he is, has all this support. I mean, not that people aren't up on it, but there's plenty of people who are a little too okay with it, like the white woman reporting outside of CNN. Well, this is the best case possible for the defense, even in her tone of voice. And this is why I don't play these games. Y'all try to act like there's these things with women all across the board. It's not. White women have never identified with black women. I have yet to really meet any non-black women that are allies of black women. You have some individuals, but the anti-blackness in the Asian community, in the Latino community, it's not the same fucking thing. And that thinking is widespread, despite the things we know. White women will always identify with white men in their voting patterns, in their beliefs, and how they carry out things in the justice system. And that jury should have been sequestered. This was way too massive. There's way too many YouTube videos on it. There's way too much press to influence them. Something this high profile should have resulted in a sequester of this jury. And honestly, both sides should have wanted that. Diddy is guilty. And I'm going to tell you how bad this is. Diddy can never be brought up on these particular charges again. It's double jeopardy. He's already been found not guilty. He can come out of jail, I don't know, in a week or whatever, and say, yeah, I did all that shit, and what? Because it doesn't matter. That's how double jeopardy works. But I want you to know at the core of this, we can sit up here because all the dumb shit coming out of defense's mouth and them listening to him, all that has done is now nurtured that narcissism within him that says, see, can't nobody do nothing to me. He's going to come out worse. Just like R. Kelly did. And we were watching that stuff with people from the late 1980s all the way up to like 2018, 2017. It's going to be worse. And New York is the city where he's from. Watch. So let this be a warning. Because I'm going to tell you right now, not only is it going to happen again, it's going to get worse. Okay? And his son is still, his sons are still facing charges. And let's not act like Diddy didn't share chicks with his sons. What's Steve Harvey doing? Lori Harvey? I don't care whether she goes through a bunch of stars. That's not the point. She went from Justin to his daddy. What kind of low life shit is that as a father? All right. That's all I got. You can put your comments below. Let me know what you think. But I said what I said. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.